Media.
I'm just thinking of that jewelry giveaway and wondering just what sort of jewelry, if my wife and I had to be talking about it at home today, and whether we'd be in line. But I'm just something to consider, right? Dr. Sekhwali, we discussed him the other day and that whole accusations around this heritage fund. Apparently, he's going to be talking to the media sometime this afternoon. So let's see what comes out of that conversation. And there's something dramatic enough, either on the drive time show with Inayat later on, or definitely tomorrow morning, we will certainly pick up on it, right? This time of the day is when we connect with Imraan Choonara. He's the CEO of Africa Muslims Agency, but he's also a personal excellence mentor. And therefore, what we talk about today, mentorship, is exactly his space. Imraan, salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, Ashraf, and of course to the listeners of Salam Media as well. And you're right, mentorship. And you and I both know right now in the world, the word mentorship is kind of like a buzzword right now. It's been for a while actually, and it's kind of this thought of everybody kind of feels like, well, I've got a mentor, or I'm going to see my mentor, or I want to learn how to be a mentor, all this kind of stuff. And look, I just want to maybe kind of caution all of us up front. Number one is that mentorship is something really, really serious, really important, really valuable. But I just don't want us to make light of it sometimes. Sometimes I think in society, we make light of it in one area. In another area, we almost disregard it, so to speak. Because you see, I don't know why. It's kind of weird to me that society over decades or centuries, maybe, I don't know, created this mentality that somehow we're supposed to figure out things in life by ourselves. So you see people walking on life trying to figure out stuff by themselves. To be honest, let me give you clarity. Where I stand on this subject is that every single person in this world should have a mentor of some sort. That's my opinion.
But what
and really, a mentor is simply someone who's gone before you, someone who you respect, someone who you look up to, someone who's walked a path that you are treading right now. That's truly, by the way, a coach is different from a mentor. You look at a coach in the soccer team, right, or a coach or whatever, from a tennis player, or whatever. That coach of let's say Tiger Woods, golfer, right? His coach cannot do what he does. That's a fact. But his coach has an outside perspective. That's why he goes to his coach. But if his coach could do what he does, then his coach would do what he does. But he can't. Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods. But his coach is super valuable to him because he has a different perspective. Mentor, however, is different. A mentor is someone, when choosing a mentor, choose someone who is on the same journey as you, but a little bit further ahead. And a mentor can be in different areas of life. People have spiritual mentors, some people have a career mentor. That's obviously specific to a particular path of your life. However, the mentorship that I work with and the mentor that I believe you should have at least one mentor in your life, that is a life mentor. Someone whose life you respect and admire. Does it mean they're a perfect human being? No. Please don't ever expect a mentor, someone you admire, to be a person who's perfect. So when you see them make a mistake, when you see them falter in life and you think, oh no, so their life is a mess. No. They're a human being like you and I. But a mentor is someone who's gone before you. They're on the same journey of life as you are, and you admire their life, right? And that's how you choose someone you want to be mentored by. By the way, a mentor is not a boss. A mentor is not someone who tells you what to do in your life. A mentor gives you perspective so that you learn how to think for yourself so that you make the decisions about your life. Please don't ever get caught in a situation where, and I see this happen sometimes, not too often, but sometimes where a person goes to a mentor and expects the mentor to tell them what decisions to make. Or sometimes the reverse, the mentor decides, I'll tell you what decisions to make in your life because I know better than you. That's dangerous, by the way. A mentor is not a dictator, not a boss, not someone who you follow blindly. That's another thing. Don't follow any human being blindly. Anybody that's alive today, don't follow them blindly. Very dangerous thing to do. So a mentor is someone who gives you perspective.
Okay, and then to end with, how does one measure the outcomes of a mentor-mentee relationship?
Good point. First of all, decide up front why you're going to a mentor, because you need to know what you want to achieve out of this relationship. Then you can measure, because if you don't know what you want to achieve out of the relationship, how do you know whether you've achieved it or not? So for example, the different mentors I have in my life, I know that I have mentors who give me clarity of thought, give me perspective to almost everything I do in most of my areas of life. And I'll have a conversation with somebody. So how do you measure your success of a relationship with mentor-mentee? Is that first of all, decide what is it you're trying to achieve. Is it in career? Then of course it's easy to measure, because you might want to reach certain levels of your career or grow in your career, so it's easier to measure. But in life, for me, it's about being a better human being. Am I growing personally every single day? Am I being challenged by my mentor to think outside the box? Am I being challenged? I've got a strong personality, Ashraf. For example, when I sit with my mentor and he's got a very strong personality, in our relationship, mentor-mentee, I keep my personality a little bit more calmer, because I know that if I go there with a know-it-all mentality, I'll never learn anything. You see, because you can't learn something you think you already know.
And here's the bottom line: the 5 minutes you've just spoken about now is an on-air mentorship for people listening. Anyway, they've just heard you. Thank you for your time. As always, we'll chat tomorrow, Imraan.
Absolutely.
That's Imraan Choonara, the mentor, personal excellence mentor, CEO of the African Muslims Agency. So that's in terms of personal. There's another perspective about the type of advice you need in business, and we'll get that from Abdullah Barachia right after this.
The Ashraf Garda Show, 8 to